Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another lesson. For today's lesson, we will be continuing looking at energy. Now, today's driving question is, what is renewable energy? You do now task. This activity is, is based on the lesson you did on Wednesday. So please take 5 minutes to now complete the task. However, if you're having issues, please pause this video, go back to the last lesson, revise if needs be, and then return to this lesson. Question 1. The type of energy obtained from food is chemical energy. Respiration occurs in and the reaction produces that is required for bodily function. The answers are mitochondria and energy. Number 3. So, the acid that builds up in the muscle during vigorous exercise is called lactic acid. Question 4. The answers are two effects of exercise are increased heart rate and breathing rates. However, if you had written them the other way around, you would have still gotten the marks. Number 5. The answers are oxygen and carbon dioxide. Number 6. The answer is lactic acid. Now, pause this video, go over to Google Classroom, watch the video that was uploaded today, and complete the video. Now, this video is no more than a minute long, so after finishing the video, please come back to your lesson.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to sunny Folkestone. I am Mr. Samuels, one of your science teachers here at Folkestone Academy. Now, this week's lessons will be divided into two sections. One, we have renewable energy. Two, we have non-renewable energies. Now, here on the beach, we have some of the most popular renewable sources. One, we have solar energy, which we get from the sun. Two, we have hydro that we get from the water. Three, we have tidal energy, again from the ocean. Four, we have geothermal energy, again, well, we can get to anywhere where there's ground, honestly. And last but not least, we have biomass, which we can get from the trees. Now, what you're looking at is the leaves. Now, it is not illegal for you to be camping or having barbecues in the lane, so don't do that. Now, let's get to the meeting class.
Now, wasn't that exciting? We went to Folkestone Beach and we had a little fun. You know, the wind was lovely and the sunshine was beautiful here in Folkestone. All right, back to the lesson. Now, again, our driving question: what is renewable energy? Now, renewable technologies use natural energy to make electricity. Fuel sources include wind, wave, marine, hydro, biomass, and solar. It is also made using sources of natural energy that are quickly replaced, such as biomass. Now, looking at renewable energy in the UK, renewables produce more than 20% of the UK's electricity, and the EU target means that is likely to increase by 30% by this year. From 2020, renewable energy will continue to be an important part of the strategy to reduce carbon emission. To achieve this, a range of technologies will need to be used, such as onshore and offshore wind farms, biomass power stations, and hydro power system. Now, the UK's biggest, and when I say biggest, I mean biggest power station, which is the Drax power station, is now moving towards using renewable energy. That is a very big plus. But we'll be looking more at Drax and what they've done in subsequent lessons. Now, looking at the history of renewable energy, so as you can see, it all started 200 BC, and BC is before Christ. So that's a very long time. Now, it all started with the water wheel. Now, renewable energy rather. Now, this is defined as energy that can be renewed, unlike fuels like gas, oil, or coal. They started in Europe over 2,000 years ago. It all started with water wheels, which mimics the workings behind hydropower. A water wheel converts the energy of moving water into mechanical or electrical energy. It uses a rotating shaft to convert the kinetic movement of water into mechanics so that it drives any attached machinery to serve its function. So just by basically allowing water to run through the system, it generates electricity. Now, the history of renewable energy continued from 1887 to 1905, 1927, 1935, 1958, 1978, 1996, 2013, and modern solar solutions. Now, as you can tell, we've come a long way and we continue to innovate in every facet of modern life. But without the keen experimentation of years gone by, who knows where we would have been? So, if it had not been for all of these inventions throughout the years, we wouldn't be where we are today. Now, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Now, we're looking at renewable energy. Our need for energy is growing as our world becomes more advanced. Developing renewable energy sources will be crucial as non-renewable energy sources such as fossil fuels cannot meet the demand. Now, but if you should ask, what is renewable energy? How would you define that? Now, this is a very simple term that would have given you the marks needed. Now, renewable energy comes from natural resources that are naturally replenished, such as the sunlight, wind, and wave. However, from the video that you watched before, there are a few other sources. Now, remember, the most popular energy sources are wind energy, solar energy, hydro energy, wave energy, and biomass. Now, if you didn't quite hear what I said, please go back. Now, the first one that we'll be looking at is solar energy. Now, solar energy comes from the sun. The sun can be used to give us heat energy. Solar panels are used to convert sunlight into electricity. Now, I'm not sure if you guys take notice when you're traveling on the high-speed train, or even if it's just a regular train from Folkestone Central to Ashford International, there is a section along the path that you will see some solar panels. I assume that's someone's property and you're using solar panel to generate electricity. Now, in that case, they might be selling electricity back to the national grid. So people are investing in these panels, which can be financially, you know, gaining. Now, there are advantages and disadvantages in using solar energy. The advantages are no pollution, can be used in remote areas, usually produced where it is used, and it is very easy to install. Some of the disadvantages are expensive to set up. You need a large number of panels and a large area of land, such as the ones, going to Ashford International. Energy only produced in daylight hours. So during the night, no energy is harvested. And the last one, it depends on climatic conditions. Second one, wind energy. Wind turbines are used to convert energy to electricity. The wind blows the blades around and this movement is converted into electricity. A group of wind turbines is called a wind farm. Now, if you have ever been to Sittingbourne or even Sheerness-on-Sea, or even just merely going towards Gravens, you will see a wind farm along the route between Sittingbourne and Rochester. Now, with all things, we have advantages and disadvantages. Some of the advantages of using wind farms are creates little pollution, it is safe to use. Land beneath them can be used for other things. It is cheap to produce energy. Some people find them interesting to look at. The farms can provide income for farmers and other landowners in rural areas of the UK. Wind is usually stronger in the winter, which is when there is more demand for electricity. The disadvantages. Wind doesn't always blow. Mhm. You guys remember last summer? Yep, very hot, no wind. Some people say they spoil the environment and they also create noise pollution. Hydropower energy. Hydropower is energy that comes from moving water. Water that flows down fast flowing rivers is used to spin turbines in dams that generate electricity. The movement of big waves at sea can also be used to generate energy. Now, again, we have the advantages and disadvantages. Advantages are waves and tides are free. Tides can be timed regularly, provides little pollution, and it is very safe to use. The disadvantages. Wave energy is expensive and difficult to transport energy to shore. Tidal barriers may affect the habitats of the animals, such as the coastal mudflats. It affects shipping, and tidal barrages are very expensive. Geothermal energy. Geothermal is heat from under the Earth's surface. Geothermal energy can be collected from hot water just below the Earth's surface or hot magma deep below the surface. A geothermal power plant is used to convert heat from under the Earth's surface into usable energy. Now, what happen is that they dig into the ground and they'll send very cold water. What happens is when the water touches the hot magma, it produces steam. Now, that steam is harvested and is used to create energy. Again, with all things, we have advantages and disadvantages. The advantages are it is renewable, it is free, creates little pollution, and we have a constant supply. Let's play the devil's advocate. What happens if the sun stops shining tomorrow? Hmm. What do you think will happen? Think about it. The disadvantages are can only be found in certain locations. Power stations may be at risk from earthquakes and volcanoes. Sulfuric gases sometimes given off. We have another one, which is biomass. Biomass energy. Biomass means natural material. Energy can be obtained by burning natural waste materials such as scraps of pieces of wood, dead trees, and unused parts of crops. Biomass is used to create biofuel. Now, some of the advantages and disadvantages of using biomass. The advantages are uses things we might throw away. We won't run out. Cheap to produce energy. Some of the disadvantages are releases greenhouse gases. Biomass crops may use up land needed for food crops. Last one, growing biomass crops takes up a lot of space. Now, can you give this question a try? What do we use energy for? Now, I'm going to list a few. Now, what I'm going to ask you to do is to make a list of your own, take a picture, and send it in. Now, we use energy for cooking. Gas is used to heat our homes, water, and to cook our food. Ooh, a VW. We need energy to power our cars. We use diesel, oil, or electricity for fuel. A television, Fortnite, Netflix and chill. All right. So we use electricity to power lots of things, such as lights, televisions, and computers. Now it's your time. List a few more things that we might use electricity for that weren't listed here. So again, so your job is to list a few more things that we use electricity or energy for. Now, another question. Now, based on what we have looked at, can you answer this question? Why don't we use renewable energy all the time? Now, if you need to go back through this video, please go back. All right, let's go. Now, non-renewable energy, and don't be alarmed, we will be looking at non-renewable energy in our next lesson. Non-renewable energy is usually cheaper than renewable energy, which means not everyone can afford to use renewable energy. So in most cases, it is normally very expensive to use renewable energy. Secondly, renewable energy, such as wind or sunshine, can't be stored to be used whenever we need it. So in an essence, We store it now to use it now. Or do we actually store it if we have to use it now? Who knows? Probably we just collect the energy, convert the energy, then use the energy spontaneously. Thirdly, if the wind doesn't blow, or if it isn't very sunny, then there may not be enough power for everyone. Just imagine in winter. We know how the UK gets when it's in winter mode. We hardly see sunshine. So let's say that we decided to use solar panels. So let's say that we have the entire UK using solar panels. What do you think will happen during winter? Hmm. Last but not least, non-renewable resources such as oil or coal can be stored and used when they are needed. So as you can see, even though non-renewable energy might not be good to use for the environment, they are more readily accessible. But again, I know we have not looked at non-renewable energy and we will do so in our next lesson. Now, we're at the very last slide. Now, the activity for today is answer the following questions. So we have 4 questions. Questions 1, 2, and 3 are multiple choice questions. So please read them carefully and answer the questions. Question 4 is asking you to list 5 reasons why renewable energy should be used. Now, we just want to say a big thank you to Twinkle and Project Solar UK for providing the information used today. Until next time, this was Mr. Samuels. Keep safe.